Hello. Welcome to the secret stream. This is funny. So I had a interesting thought tonight to kind of do one of these live streams. I usually do them on Saturdays in the afternoon, but this weekend I'm going to be busy, so I figured, hey, why not do one tonight? So if you're watching the replay of these streams or replay of this stream, I try to do these once per week, usually on the weekends. And maybe if we have more of these streams at sporadic times, if you guys enjoy them, or if you would like me to stream at more irregular times like now, let me know in the comment section below, and then hopefully I can work something out in the future. So I have no topic or ideas planned for this stream. It was sort of off on a whim, and I figured let's just run it and see what happens. So I was kind of going over some thoughts the other day about the channel, the goals that I have, and the progress that I've made so far this year. And so I've been pretty happy with how things have been going lately, but I don't want to be complacent. So I don't know if that's like a fear that I have, but I'm always worried about being comfortable, because that's when you stop growing. And so yesterday I was thinking, like, I need to do more things that make me uncomfortable, and streaming is definitely one of them. It's the type of content that I find the most challenging, I guess you would say. It's also the most stressful, since you can't really pre-plan or write a script for the type of content that you make, unless, do people stream like scripted stuff? I feel like that wouldn't even be possible. Like, how do you, if you had a stream, a live stream, how could you even script it? So I don't know. Anyways, hold on, let me check one thing. Make sure my audio is good. Okay, looks good. But yeah, scripted streams, don't think they're a thing. Don't see how that would even be remotely possible. However, the one thing that I do really enjoy about streaming is the fact that it improves my ability to converse with people and have better conversations, because this also applies to the podcast that I do. And so I've been trying to take my second channel, which is the podcast channel. It's just called the Bearsy Podcast. It's approaching 2 years now. It's going to be, I think, March or May. It's going to be 2-year anniversary of the podcast. And so that's slowly grown over time. However, the stream really helps me with my speech, because regular YouTube videos don't really do that, unless you do a lot of unfiltered YouTube videos where you don't pre-plan the title, the thumbnail, the hook, or the ideas you want to talk about. But if you do too many videos like that, I feel like it's probably detrimental to your channel, because YouTube videos, you want to have like a clickbait thumbnail, you want to have an enticing title, and you want to have like a super edited video in maybe like the first couple of minutes or so that it hooks people into your content. So there's a huge difference when it comes to podcast streams, even like YouTube shorts and regular videos. And so I feel like you are working different creative muscles depending on the type of content you're making. Yo, Jalen, what's up, bro? What's going on? Welcome to the secret stream where no one's gonna show up. What's going on, dude? So I'd show you the studio is it's like a massive mess over here. I got all the gear over here. I don't even want to touch it. This is like, it's a lot going on. I was able to get the 2 microphones, the recorder. So I sort of have like an L desk. It's kind of weird to describe, but you'll see it. Don't worry, bro. You'll see it soon. We got to talk soon for the podcast. Yeah, I'm trying to plan out the content that I want to release in March. Everything's been like super hectic. The channel has been growing, which of course, like I'm happy about, but also there is a lot more like, what's the right word? Inquiries about the podcast and people finding it interesting and wanting to jump on. Whereas before I would do maybe like one a month. I was doing like 1 podcast a month. It was just like, I would just do it for fun. And now it's like every single week I've been getting someone that wants to jump on. And so I sort of had to change my mindset when it comes to the podcast, because in the past I just did it for fun. The podcast was something, I just do every once in a while. I didn't really take it that serious. But now it's like, it's starting to ramp up, and I think we have 47 episodes. So I want to take the podcast a lot more seriously, just like the main channel. But of course, if you do that, it's going to require more time and, most importantly, your attention. And so that will naturally take away from the quality of work you output on the main channel. So I'm trying to find a balance there. Hey, Ken, good evening. What's up, bro? How you doing, sir? Just popping on for a few. Yeah, man. Good to see you. I just had a spur of the moment feeling, or whatever you want to call it, to just throw on a live stream and then see what happened. A big part of that is I'm going to be busy this weekend, so just wanted to kind of do something that made me feel uncomfortable. Just winding down. Yeah, me too. This is usually the time where I kind of collect my thoughts, plan out what I want to do the next day, and sort of just take it easy. Like most people just like to relax at night, right? So this is usually the last thing that I want to do. I don't want to live stream when I'm tired. But again, I've been thinking about this idea of not getting complacent and not getting comfortable. And I always want to be challenging myself, right? And so this is something that I really think I think deeply about. And I don't want to ever get too comfortable, especially with any of this like YouTube stuff. I don't want to get comfortable. I don't want to get complacent. I don't want the work to become boring or mundane to the point where I don't have that passion and drive for it anymore. And one of the biggest ways that you can counteract that is by doing things that make you uneasy. And so more podcasts, more live streams, or maybe a couple of secret streams every night or every other night, or I don't know, just randomly all over the place. But yeah, it's fun. All this stuff, I love it. Same here. Yeah, it's kind of nice to just like chill out sometimes at night, right? This is when I usually think about like my day, how it went, what I want to do tomorrow, philosophies on life, that type of stuff. So I don't have like too much physical energy to do anything. I should be good for the end of this month for a podcast. Does that work for you? Yeah, man. So like the 25th, 26th of March, we could do that. Yeah, we'll work out a time for one of those weekends at the end of the month, and we'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure I should be free. Where is Mr. Anti-Gambler? I like that guy. That guy's full of energy, man. He was an interesting guest to have on my podcast because he alleviates a lot of pressure when it comes to the flow of the conversation. That guy, if you just like let him go, he just can ramble on and just talk about stuff. And he has this like, what's the right word? Eccentric? Is it eccentric? Eccentric, like joyful, like high energy personality. So it was nice. It was like, it was one of those podcasts where I didn't have to do too much. I kind of just like sat back, listened to his story, and it was a lot of fun and entertaining. So he was a interesting guest to have. I asked where is Bearsy on his live stream today. uh, oh man, that's funny. You know what? I have high hopes for this whole live streaming stuff on YouTube because technically most live streamers stream on Twitch, right? And that's where I started. I started streaming on Twitch. Can't remember what I was doing. I think I was streaming early in the morning. I was like showing my early morning productivity routine or something. I was like streaming myself in the morning, and everyone is on Twitch. And then for whatever reason, I kind of had this epiphany where I really like what YouTube is doing when it comes to adding features outside of the main videos, where they added YouTube Shorts and they added live streams and they added like the community posts. And so like there's all these things that YouTube is adding. So I'm very bullish on YouTube as a whole. And I see things like TikTok and Twitch and even like Facebook. I'm curious about the longevity of those platforms. Like, I wonder, is Twitch here to stay? Is Twitch going to always be the big dog when it comes to streaming? Because it is now. If you want to stream like this, the just chatting type of stuff, or because Twitch is like a lot of video games, right? But I feel like what YouTube is doing and how they're supporting us creators with all these other types of functionality, where they're really trying to compete with these other social media platforms. Just like TikTok, for example, they're taking a huge jab at TikTok when it comes to the Shorts fund. Now that we can get like monetized for our YouTube Shorts, and I know that creators always complain about TikTok, not paying them much. So I have seen many, and you and Tristan have the two best down-to-earth personalities. Hey, thanks, bro. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it, Ken. I always love the support, especially from the whole gambling community, I guess you would say. Like, what would you consider all of this type of stuff? Anti-gambling? It's kind of cool that I just randomly stumbled upon this small little community of people that are going through very similar tough situations, and it's something that I never planned on doing this, right? Because like Tristan, for example, his channel is titled Mr. Anti-Gambler, so like you pretty much know what it's about, right? Whereas mine, it's more like a variety of stuff, a variety of subjects and content and ideas, even though it's mostly centered around self-improvement. However, this gambling demon that I had in my past, this shadow that I've been trying to avoid and not really divulge to others, it kind of came out eventually. And this is what sparked this whole desire to make videos centered around gambling addiction, because the response and feedback that I've received from people is extremely powerful, and it's heartwarming, and I just love hearing the type of feedback from people saying like, hey, this random video you made about you wasting money at the casino, it really resonated with me, and it helped me out. I was in a dark place, or I was thinking about going to the casino that night, and instead I watched your video and it helped me out. And like, just hearing messages like that, it really gives you meaning behind your work, because it's not just for you. Whereas before, I love creating videos, I love videography, I love talking about stuff. This sort of came from a selfish place where I was just doing things for me, talking about things that I loved, creating content that, I wanted to do. I never really thought about trying to reach someone or help a specific group of people. And this is what it's become. And it's like, it's very rewarding. It's a very rewarding experience. Fellowship of Recovering Gamblers. I like that. Fellowship. That's not a word that you read very often. Fellowship. That's like Lord of the Rings, I think. there's a fellowship of something in Lord of the Rings. Yeah, that's an interesting word. Yeah, I just I like the whole thing. It's a cool community to be a part of. But it's very strange how small it is, because you hear about people struggling with like alcohol addiction, cigarettes, or types of drugs or pills. Like there's all these different types of substance addictions that people struggle and go through. And you have things like MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, and Alcoholic Anonymous, and you have all these organizations and support groups and stories of people struggling and finding ways to get into these rehab centers and changing their life. But then when you talk about the subject of gambling, it's almost as if you don't get that same response, or like that help group, it almost doesn't exist. And it's strange because for whatever reason, society has accepted the fact that everyone drinks, or generally, if you want to be seen as not like a weirdo, like you drink. Whenever I tell people, oh, I don't drink, they think I'm crazy. Like, what? You don't drink? Like, what do you mean? But then whenever you talk about, oh, you have like a gambling addiction, there's like this level of respect that you don't get, where you don't get that same compassion or support, where people automatically think you're just some degenerate loser who throws his money away. And it's like, it's very strange. So I don't know. I'm still trying to navigate my way through this whole sea of addiction space, and I don't know what, like, I don't even know what else you call it. Most don't realize these types of channels exist. I didn't till less than a year ago. Yeah, neither did I. Neither did I, bro. I had no idea. Like I've known that people have made sobriety videos before. Like I've seen those on YouTube, like people talking about how they're really struggling with alcohol and they want to quit drinking. Like those are pretty common, I feel like. Like I've seen those before. But I've never heard anyone talking about, oh, I have this like addiction to slots, and I like lost my retirement account, or I burned through the mortgage of my house and I ruined my finances. Like stories like that are so crazy, because not only are they affecting you in a negative way, you're also damaging your family or the future of your family. And so it's like a very dark subject to talk about, because the repercussions of your decisions, it's high stakes. It's literally high stakes. We're talking about ruining the financial future, even for like your kids, or even being able to pay rent, or being able to find shelter or have a place to live, right? So it's it's a pretty wild space to be in, for sure. I started out seeking gambling addiction stories. Oh, okay. So that's how you. I have a million of those. I made 2 videos titled Gambling Addiction Stories 1 and 2, I think. I could probably make those videos forever. Maybe not forever, but I have so many. I've seen so many wild people do so so much wild stuff and reckless things. Like it's just chaos all the time. Over the course of, what is it, 9 years? Yeah, 9 years. So I have a backlog of stories from 9 years of my past of people just doing absolutely crazy, crazy stuff. And at the time, it's funny, right? You have like these funny stories to tell the boys whenever you're, having some drinks, or maybe someone is having like a birthday party or something. But I never thought about sharing these wild stories with anyone, like especially not the internet, right? Yo, Tenzin, what's up, bro? How you doing? Welcome to the not so secret late night stream. I had the urge to go to the casino today, but I didn't. Hey, that's a win. It's a win, bro. It's a W for Tenzin. That's good, man. Yeah, every little win counts. Because like, say you succumb to that urge, you go. Like, what could happen, right? There's so many possible negative outcomes that one trip to a casino can lead you down. And so like, when you're trying to fight those addictions, when you're trying to fight those urges and that compulsion, every little win counts. Because that's how you build up momentum, right? Is through consistency, being disciplined, making the right choices, and then building up that habit and riding that momentum, right, to better your life. And so it's important, right? It's awesome. I love hearing that. I have far too many myself. Oh, the gambling stories. Yeah, I feel like we're all the same. Like you know exactly exactly what I'm talking about. The craziest is when you're at a table with someone, and then they're super emotionally invested in whatever game they're playing. And I remember I saw this once at a blackjack table where this lady was just on edge. Like after every card the dealer was dealing, she was just like freaking out. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, why are you so stressed? Like she was betting pretty heavy too. And then all of a sudden she's like, oh, this is next month's rent money. And I'm like, oh my, like, what are you doing? I'm like, you have your rent money at the blackjack table? Like, really? Like, that's so crazy. But it's like, you can tell them that what they're doing is insane, or they even know that it's insane, and yet it still perpetuates. It still continues. It doesn't stop. It's like such a wild, like, there's no rationale behind the decisions that people make in the casino. It's so irrational. And it just blows my mind how poor of a decision that human beings make in that environment. It's a wild place. Gambled for 15 to 20 years. Dang, bro, you're a vet. I got out after 9. 9 years was enough for me. That was a 9-year roller coaster that went on far too long. Approximately 100K. Dang, bro. Yo, that's wild. I also stopped going to gambling websites a whole year. Oh, that's good. See, that's a tricky one. I think it's a lot easier to avoid the casino because like a physical brick and mortar place. It's the online stuff is what I'm really afraid of. Like, where's my phone? Like right here. Like my phone's right in front of me. Like we all have our phone. Our phone's like always connected to us. We have this like symbiotic relationship with our devices. We can't like put them down, obviously. And the majority of that is for, text messages, phone call, social media, your email, or maybe you have like a couple games that you play whenever, you feel bored. But the fact that you can access gambling websites from your phone, or you can download these poker apps, like kind of like Poker Stars or some type of slot machine app. Like there's whatever. There's all these different apps and games you can get directly on your phone and play for real money. And that's what I'm worried about. Not just for myself, but for population, but for people in general. Because the access to that, it's so easy. It's just right there in your hand. And so that's something that I try to be very cognizant of, and try to make sure I don't fall into a gambling habit through my phone, because that would be like, because if I can't even put the stupid phone down for my email and text messages, how am I going to put it down for like poker, right? It's going to be tough. Yo, Mitch, what's up, Mitch? How you doing, bro? We still got to organize a date for the pod, dude. I've been so busy. I wish I could show you guys. Right in front of me is the physical podcast studio that I've been working on. It's I guess I could move the camera. I don't want to like move. I'm just gonna leave it. Anyways, there's like microphones and receivers and recorders and lights and all kinds of stuff right in front of me. And this Saturday, I'm going to have an in-person live podcast. So that's going to be super cool. It's just been like so hectic. Up another 6, so I'll say good night to you all. Stay strong. Hey, Ken, good night, bro. Have a good night. And have a good Friday. For sure, broski, at a cheap poker. Oh, you're at a cheap poker tournament? That's awesome. Yeah, sorry, dude. I've just been like, my days are just, they're like so wild. If it's not filming a video, then it's editing a video, or filming a podcast, editing a podcast, or making a thumbnail, or writing a newsletter, or writing a community post. If it's not any of those things, then it's spending time with the family, doing something that needs to be fixed around the house, something needs to be cleaned, or having lunch with the family, dinner with the family, or I have to go to work, or maybe there's something I have to go out and do. There's no breaks in my day. It's just like go 18 hours a day, 18 hours a day roughly. So it's been like super hectic. But I kind of like it like that. I like to be busy, to be progressing, to be doing things. And this is sort of a strategy that does relate to gambling, right? Is to keep your mind busy, right? Then you won't fall victim to your bad habits, your old ways, right? Yeah, I remember losing 8,000 under an hour on those websites. Oh, dang, dude. Yeah, that's insane. You lost 8,000? What game did you play? Because losing 8,000 in an hour, that's fast. Holy. What's crazy too is it's so easy to get money onto those sites. Like you just credit card, boom, deposit, bam, and it's instantly there and you can play right away. But as soon as you want to withdraw money back to your bank account, it takes 24 to 48 hours processing time. And you have to wait 3 business days for the deposit in your bank account. Like they make it so easy to get money on, but when it's the inverse, it takes forever. And it's so annoying. Blackjack and roulette. Yeah, blackjack was... I never really got the blackjack bug that hard. Probably because I suck at it. I'm not good at blackjack at all. It's like you stay at 15, 14. Like I don't even know like what the general strategy is. Do you hit on 14? I don't even know. So I'm terrible. But roulette was the one that was a lot of fun for me. And it was mostly like the numbers, betting the numbers. Because it's like, what is it, 35 to 1? So if you put $10 on a number and you hit it, you get $350. So that 35 to 1 odds. That rush was so addictive. I use crypto, so it was easy. Oh man, yeah. See, that's another thing too. Crypto just makes the accessibility so easy. Don't even need a credit card anymore. Blackjack is evil and impossible to beat. Yeah, and it's so messed too. If you're like one of those people that's a card counter, and if the casino finds out, they just throw you out. So it's like even when you are so skilled mathematically at the game, maybe you practice for thousands of hours and I don't know how to count the cards in the shoe, and you gain like a tiny advantage against a house, then they just throw you out. So it's like hopeless, right? Yeah, blackjack is rough. The other thing that's rough about blackjack is that you can make decisions that affect the game, and that gets you emotionally invested into the game. Whereas roulette, the dealer spins the ball and whatever it lands on, it lands on. Your actions can't affect the outcome, right? My nose is running. Whoops. But yeah, like I'm saying, like in blackjack, say you make a poor decision and then it causes you to lose. And then all of a sudden now you get upset, or now you blame the dealer, or you blame chance. You say that you're unlucky, or maybe you become superstitious. And it's like that can affect you emotionally, which can lead into the next hand, which can cause you to make even more poor decisions. And so that's where I feel like blackjack is kind of scary, because it can snowball out of control. But yeah, it's rough, bro. But I'm glad to hear that you were able to fight those urges. Why is my nose running? I'm like a little stuffed up. Well, anyways, I think this is gonna be a short stream. It was just a late night test stream, just to see what would happen. Thanks, Tenzin, for coming by and chatting. Mitch, Ken, and Jalen. Yeah, just gonna let you guys know that this weekend I'm not gonna be able to do a stream. Gonna be kind of busy. But yeah, I definitely have a lot of content planned to come out this month, and try to get the podcast up and running. This like dream that I have for content creation. But yeah, lots more to come in the month. Lots more to come, bro. So yeah, I'm gonna end the stream now. Tenzin, have a good night, dude. Have a good week, and stay out of the casino. And thanks to everyone else who came by to watch the replay of this not so secret stream. I'll see you guys probably on the 11th or 12th.